Hi guys, welcome back. So I thought I would do you guys, those of you who have watched would have seen my video on the resin cast I did and also on the air dry clay. Right, gotta say resin's definitely my favourite because there's a few reasons for it. One, the pieces come out perfect, and there's no real wait time. I mean, I had to wait days and days for these to dry and cure properly, whereas the resin, although it does cure in 3 days ish, like fully, they came out and I could have used within an hour. It took me 2 hours just to get the clay into the molds, so for me there's just no comparison really. So what I have the resin pieces on this side, and I have the same pieces but the ones that were clay, and you can see this if I just turn this over, the camera will focus. You can see this is the resin one and this is the clay. Major difference. So I also have a fan going because it's so hot here, so if you hear that, apologies. It does seem to be making a weird noise. Right, that's better. Anyway, so what I decided to do is I wanted to compare the two. So one of the comparisons I just want to show you quickly is that this is the resin piece, came out perfectly out of the mold. This is the one that was with the clay, the black piece, and you can see his horn is not where it should be. So if I just lay these on top, you can see how trying to get that out of the mold, it basically distorted that. It doesn't bother me so much because I will still use it because it's weird and wonky, but if you want perfect molds, then I would suggest this. Just make sure that you do all your research, get yourself a respirator mask, which I now have, and health and safety first. So, but what I did was I used 2 different gessos on each of them. I used the white gesso. This is just Pebeo. I've got like the biggest tub in the world, but white gesso on the resin pieces. There is a reason for that. And then black gesso, same brand, on the clay pieces. And I thought that will give you not only from clay and resin side of things, but it'll also give you a comparison with a black or white background as a base. So with your resin pieces, you do need, well, even the clay, you do need to definitely gesso these before you do anything to them, because they are like a plastic, and it's very slick. You can see, if I can get it to angle right, hopefully you can see a bit of shine there, and that is because it's plasticky. So before you try and put any products on it, whether it's paint, waxes, whatever it is, you need something for it to grab hold of and allow you to actually hold that on here, or it may just slip off and it's not going to really bond to that piece. The other thing is you can be a little less delicate with your resin pieces than with your clay ones. Your clay ones will still break. Obviously if you really went to do that, you would break this, I would imagine. But these are easier, you can fling them around and they're fine. So I have a fairly stiff brush. I do not have an actual kind of like a stippling brush, which Finnabair has as part of her art basics. She has some like the round brushes, and they're kind of like stippling brushes, kind of like stencil brush type style thing. This is the sort of hardest brush that I have, so I'm going to use this one. And what we're going to do is take these 3, these are new to me, so we're doing this for the first time on video. Of course, that's how I like to share things too, so we learn together. But I have the Sepia Antique Wax, which I actually think the Antique Wax is going to be one of my favourites. And then I have Opal Magic in Blue Velvet and Brushed Iron for the Metallique. And there is a matte wax that she also has, but I just don't know that that's my style. Like, I like these ones because of the effects that you get from them, but the matte wax, I'm like, what's it really doing? I don't really understand it, so maybe I'll learn one day. But for me, these three have these incredible results, and that's what I want to share with you guys today. So and there's also a whole bunch of different colors in all of these types. So I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to leave this one to last because this is actually, I think, going to become a firm favorite for me. So we'll start with the metallic. Let's do the metallic first, and I'm going to do the same piece in the same metallic, in the same type, if that made any sense. So I think I'm going to do the antique in the wings, because I just think, oh no, the antique is going to be the little horns, opal for the wings, and then I will do the metallics on the cats. So I'm going to do a bit of both if I feel I need to. This one is mostly going to be for my antiquing one because of the technique. So I'm going to use my finger for the rest of it. So let's see what happens. So it does come closed, which is nice, and then you just, for those who don't know, you just have a little pip in there and you just stab it. Don't worry, it's not hurt. And there's your wax there. So I'm just going to pop a little bit on the side here, like so. And then I think I will start with the white one, and I'll bring us as close as I can, but I will show you afterwards. I'm just going to take a finger and just start going over the top. So the thing to remember as well is that when you are using a wax, it's kind of like your last layer. So if you want to add another color to it, you need to add it with wax. Wax on wax will work, but if you've used acrylic paint or something else and then you add wax, it's the final coat kind of thing, because of what it is. So I'm just smushing this in, as you can see. So that's pretty cool, I think. It looks kind of cool. If you want to get into like the little, like his nose, let's just grab a brush. Little-ish brush. You can do that just with a brush. Getting right in there. Like I say, if you have this like stippling brush thing, I don't know what you call it, that Finnabair has, you can also do it that way. So what you could do is have it like so, and you've got this lovely metallic sheen on it. If you wanted to, of course, completely cover that in the silver, I'm just going to get a baby wipe, getting off the fingers. Say we wanted to go completely in there, and then we'll add some of the other blue velvet or something on there, we can do that too. So if I wanted to take this and just completely paint in all these places so that it's completely solid, you can do that as well. I think I need a bigger brush. Let's get a bigger brush. Let's try. I just want to keep that one for the specifically for that. So let's do this. There you go. So completely cover it. with your wax. Like so. One very nice silvery metallic-y kitty cat. So I will do the same then in the black one, and I think what we'll do is we'll take one of the opal and just put that, because it's a different colour, we'll put that over the top when this is dried off a bit. So if I now try on the, this is the clay piece, do the same thing. We're just going to cover him. Just like that. Like I say, the gesso is more for creating a back, kind of like a backdrop, and something that whatever you put on top of it is going to adhere to. I definitely need stiffer brushes, so just so you know. I'll just get this on here. Right, so that's on the black gessoed piece, and really they look the same. It's fine. Right, so I'm just going to clean my hands a bit. So I'm going to let these dry, for want of a better word, and I'm going to go on to the wings. Just going to pop these over to the side so I know what I'm doing. So for the wings now, I'm going to go back to, we're using the Opal Magic in blue, and I'm going, well, we'll see what I do here. Same thing again, just pop it open there. And this looks kind of weird. So let's start with the white, and I'm going to pop this over the top like this. Now this does not look opal blue to me, so I don't know if that is a manufacturing thing. We'll see what it does. Blue velvet is what this one should be. Oh, I can see it now. Just put that over the top. So I think the opals will work better on the darker surface, but this does look quite cool on the white background. It reflects in the light, and I'll show you that in a second. But I may change this later on anyway, because for me the metallics and the opals will look much nicer on the black. You'll see that in a minute. And I've still got silver on my hand, so I'm mixing it up here, but so I don't know if you can catch that. It's not as iridescent on there, but we'll see. I won't do the other one for now. Let's just try and get some of this silver off me. Let's try a black wing. Now this is where I'm expecting it to really pop. You can kind of see it on my finger there. Hey, look. Is that not the coolest thing? Now you can really see it on there. So I think for the white ones I would probably do a paint coat, you know, in a different colour, and then put this over the top. But I love how this is looking just by putting this over the top of the piece. And in fact, if I just do this, Oh, big difference. You see, there it is. I'm going to let that dry for a minute just to see if it will. She says, I can't help it, I'm playing now, so again, it might be better with a coat or something, but that's very pretty. So let's let that dry for a minute. So that's the, I'll leave those for a second. Now we're getting to the one that I'm excited about the most, which is the antique one. So for this one, and I believe baby wipes work best, we're going to take some of the antique wax, which again, just open it like so. Whoa. Probably don't need that much, but it's out now. And I'm going to start with this one. Now I don't think I'm going to get the reaction on here that I am sort of thinking compared to the lighter background. So we shall see. And mostly because it's a dark background, it's not gonna, there's nothing for it to come through and show that antique-y look, right? You're not going to see anything on that, really. Even if we had to, even if we have to try and there's this is what I mean about the clay, it's very delicate. Oh well. So I think for this one, I'm going to, let's do some more of, I've already got it, let's put some silver on there, and then we'll let it dry for a second, and I'll come back and do the antique thing and see if we can get it to work that way. Right, so just because at the moment there's not, that's too dark, you can't see that colour on that colour, it's just not going to work. So this one is the one that I really want to see. Now you're just going to, looks a mess, I know, it's because it is a mess. Just going to go around like so. Right, messy, messy, messy. And then you're going to take your thingy and do this. And this is, like I say, my favourite thing that I think I am going to love. And I know, and it's taken the paint off as well, but okay. Perhaps I need better gesso, but look, is that not cool? I mean, it is a bit messy because it's actually stripped all my paint off it as well. Oh, in fact, it's just peeling off. But you get the idea. If I had better gesso, when you then rub that off, it just gets into all the detail, all the nooks and crannies, and gives it this very cool antique-y look. Love. I'm gonna keep practicing that because that's just the coolest thing ever. So, and maybe I was a little bit like woo with it. So if I try gently on this, let's just use my finger for this instead. And we now try and put some antique wax on top. And then just gently wipe that off. You can't actually see that there. So yeah, you can't see it on there really. So I think for me, Probably, well, a little bit. Ish. So the last thing I want to do is come back to these cats, and then I'll give you my viewpoint on stuff. So these were the two we did in the metallic wax. Now I want to take some of this blue velvet opal magic, and we're going to see whether this will, like how it will react, or how we can highlight things and just make these cats a bit funkier. That does make a difference. That's impressive. But I think also I need to get more intense with my colours, not be such a girl about it. So I don't know if you're going to catch this, but there is this colour on here, and it's very cool. Can you see that? I definitely think I need better gesso. This gesso is not working, it's already rubbing off in sections, but hopefully you can see that the opal's on there. And it is much better in real life. I'm not sure how this is picking up on the camera. So for this one, essentially it will do the same thing. So I think what I'm going to try and do is just add a bit more. Let's try the antique on this one. And then let's just see if we can kind of move that around a bit. So that's quite cool. Maybe I don't need a wet wipe as such, but that's sort of made it more antique-y and darker and very cool. So overall I love them. I do think, and I'll go over each one again just real quickly, I do think maybe this gesso is not right for these. I think maybe there is a, I think Finnabair, if I remember right, she mentioned that some of the gessos and things that she's got, or some of the soft gel, I think it is very sticky, so that you can sort of work with it more, which may not have anything to do with this. But I'm going to go back and watch some of her videos, and I will obviously be back with more for you. But this just gives you an idea. First time playing with it, there we have it. So this one, just a recap, this is the metallic wax, and then over the top of this one is the opal, and the antiquing over the top of that one. And I do actually like the way they turned out, especially him. I think he's very cool. So that's those two. These two were the Opal Magic, which is this. Definitely works better on, or shows up more on a darker colour than the lighter one. It is there, but it's not as prominent. And then we have the Antique Wax, which, you know, I think the gesso underneath isn't very good, but you hopefully get the idea that it just pushes that into those crevices and just love it. And then this is also using the metallic and then a bit of antiquing, which on the dark surfaces you can't really see the antiquing. The antiquing works really well with light surfaces. Maybe I should try it just putting this straight onto my pieces. That might work too. So yeah, so on a dark surface I would say the antique wax is not going to work as well, but on the lighter surfaces your metallics will work fine, and I think the opal will work better on a darker colour background. When I say surface, I mean the colour in the background. So maybe what I could also do is have painted them as well as the gesso, if that makes sense. So we'll see what else I can come up with. I've still got 2 wings here. I'll finish those off screen, but hopefully this gave you some idea, even though, see, clay doesn't work. Gave you some idea of how these products work, how they work. So I hope this was helpful in some way. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. I know I'm terrible at I read all your comments, but I am terrible at getting back to people. So, but if there is a question about something, then I will definitely come back to you guys for sure, because I know that helps you guys out. So I hope this was somewhat helpful, albeit it was kind of let's play together, and I will see you next time. In the next one, at least. Can't talk, it's too hot. Is what it is. Anyway, see you in the next one, guys. Bye for now. Woo. Oh, look at that. Yes, you will get messy.